especially maybe Hamden with the edge on the size, and Deering gets the nod maybe in the quickness department. Tip is up, and it is Deering with the first crack at it. They'll go off right side. Pat Green, hero in that championship game in the Western Maine. Nice dish underneath. The shot doesn't fall for the Rams.
Nice.
And quickly the other way.
And a nice set play by Deering. They look to get the back door to Amabile.
Comes off right side. Palmer looks for some help. Ball knocked loose, recovered by Poirier. Palmer gets it back, tries to get it into Knight. Ball is on the floor, and it's turned over to the Rams.
An extreme defensive pressure on the part of the Deering Rams. They're giving away size, but they're up and pressuring passing lanes and pressuring the basketball.
Perhaps nerves on the part of both teams here. Jordan Chorn turning the ball over back to the Broncos.
Key matchup right here. That's Christian McCue with the basketball, and that's Green guarding him.
Kicks out to Knight on the baseline, in and out. Rebound, Palmer, no good. Battle for underneath and picked up by McCue. Now McCue along the baseline, lays it up for two.
And a great baseline drive by McCue. Tracked down the loose ball, got a screen. I believe it was Poirier that really freed him up to get to the rim.
T-Watt hands off now to Chorn on the right side with it. Green. T-Watt throws it up, around and in. He gets the bucket and the whistle.
And there's the foul we're talking about with Fred Knight, and that's a tough cover for him. We'll see T-Watt with an up fake, a bounce. Fred Knight with the contact. T-Watt with the chance for the three-point play.
First foul of the game. That coming against Fred Knight. T-Watt, 6'4" junior, connects on the foul shot, completing the three-point play.
And 1-2-2 full court pressure. Nobody home in the back end.
McCue lays it up. No good. Followed up and in by Palmer.
Deering didn't have a safety in that defensive press that they put on.
T-Watt gives off now to Chorn. Chorn on the point. I'll work it left side to Green. Abois goes in strong off the right side, rolls off the front of the rim, and Fred Knight the rebound for the Broncos.
Pretty good look, and Fred Knight able to clear the boards.
Broncos up by one. McCue keeps the dribble, and he is fouled out front.
Now, we talked about Deering possibly having a quickness edge, but we got to mention that Christian McCue is extremely quick, and at 6'2", he's going to be a tough cover.
Cal London is coming to the game for Deering. Foul, by the way, was on Pat Green. Ball stolen away. Green gets the pass up ahead and lays it in for two.
Error by the Broncos there in an inbounds play. They get it stolen.
McCue brings it across midcourt. Gets it to Palmer. Looks inside. Has Fred Knight down along the baseline. Ball is lost out of bounds. It'll go back to the Rams.
And pretty good defense by T-Watt because he forced Fred Knight out away from that lane. He was a good 4 or 5 feet from getting his heels in the paint.
Pat Green gives off now to Amabile. Amabile lost the handle and travels. And he went to regain control of the ball, kind of hitched it up against his hip. Knight gets it up to McCue. McCue will pop up for the three and hit.
Pull-up jumper. They beat the press down the floor. They had not great numbers, but enough of an opening for McCue.
It's 7-5. Green with it on the left side. Green now dumps it to Abois. Slams it home.
And good strategy by Danny Legage, forcing Hamden's big people to come out and play screen and roll.
Get an idea of Abois' quickness on that play. Now driving in hard off the glass, no good for Gilpin. Foul is going to go against Cal London.
Well, it looks like Hamden's on-ball screening defense will be tested here, at least in the early going.
Pass comes out front. I'll swing it to McCue. McCue down along the baseline, kicks it out into the corner. Now zip it out front. Fred Knight leaves it short. Rebound taken down by Poirier. Back out front, and no, they wave it off. They're out of travel on Zach Gilpin.
Deering went into his zone when Hamden had the ball out on the baseline, stayed in the zone, and Deering got a good look, but the travel takes the bucket away.
We're tied at 7 here in the first quarter of play. London drives his way in, and he travels, and it'll go back to the Broncos.
Deering going to stay in full court pressure. Got to be able to rotate somebody back to guard the basket.
Fred Knight's pass is picked off by London. He leaves it back, and a foul is going to be called on Gilpin as Emmabile went in for the shot.
Well, Knight tried to look diagonal, which is a good look against pressure, but passed too far. Too much air time.
Zach Gilpin picks up his first.
And that was Cal London, who's checked into the game with the steal.
Emmabile misses the first. Emmabile, 5'10" senior and the tourney's outstanding player in the West, makes his second foul shot. It goes over to Palmer. He'll spot up for the three off the front of the rim. Abwal the rebound. Down along the baseline, and we'll have a player control foul. T-Watt whistle for the foul. That is his first.
And you'll see the action along the baseline, the pass, the drive. Knight established his position. It's a good thing because he reached in and fouled him with his hand. But the body contact takes priority.
Brian Fickett has checked into the ball game, as has Cam Scott for the Broncos.
A week ago, Fickett hit the game-winning shot against Mount Blue.
3.5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Class A state championship game. McCue pops and hits. 3.
Well, in McCue, you've got somebody that can play inside and out, handles the ball extremely well, shooting off the dribble, going to his left.
Abwal gets around his man, and he travels.
It went right around, I believe it was Gilpin.
Now Gilpin brings it up for the Broncos.
Gilpin very athletic and only a sophomore.
Christian McCue, right side of the lane, underneath, can't find any room to maneuver, tries to dump it back for Fickett. Instead throws it away, quickly the other way, and a nice move by John Emmabile.
Good body control, up a little bit of up and under, able to convert.
We're tied at 10. Ball knocked loose out of the hands of Scott. Now the shot from the left side by McCue, no good. He tries to save it from going out of bounds. Skids along the Civic Center floor.
Well, Hamden's been shooting the ball actually pretty quickly. Actually, both teams are. So it's not the delay game that some people feared it was going to be. Both teams very offensive minded, very comfortable running their stuff.
Emmabile starts, stops, drives down the lane. We've got a whistle. The ball falls through, no basket. And that foul is going to go on Logan Poirier.
His constant screening on the ball is putting pressure on the Hamden defense.
First on Poirier, 13 foul. London pops out, now gets it to Emmabile, pulls up, the jumper is in.
Nice little fadeaway designed out of bounds play. Emmabile used the screen to hit the jumper.
Christian McCue jogs it up. Gilpin from the left side hits. First bucket for Gilpin.
And Gilpin and McCue, similar games in that both players put the ball on the floor very well and get into their mid-range jump shots.
No, we've got a foul before any shot is taken. The ball will be inbounded along the baseline. Foul is going to be called on Kim Scott. So fourth foul on the Broncos.
And so far in the early going, in both ends, it's been advantage offense. Defense is having trouble containing players off the dribble.
Shot by Abwa is no good, and then thrown away by the Broncos as the pass is picked off by Emabile. Kicks it out right side. No, and rebound taken down by Hamden.
Fundamental error by Hamden that time. They try to throw an outlet pass down the middle. You never want to do that unless somebody's wide open.
Scott with the ball. Again, it's been a back and forth affair here in the first quarter. And we've got a foul away from the ball. It's going to go against the Broncos. As
Brian Fickett was jostling in the post with Dominic Latour. Latour had fronted him and Fickett got called with a push. Both players being pretty physical.
So fifth team foul, first on Fickett. Dominic Latour is into the game for Deering, number 14. And the jumper off the back of the rim by Pat Green. McCue pass almost through the hands of Fickett, able to save it. McCue gets it back, up over Abwa, and that's no easy task.
And a nice little floater that time by McCue, adjusted the arc of his shot.
Now back the other way, Emabile can't get it to go.
See if Hamden holds for one now. There's under 30 seconds, 24 seconds as you can see.
Christian McCue with 10 points, 2 threes, and a couple of plain old two-pointers. And we've got a foul, a blocking foul will be called on Cal London.
And London jumped out in a jump switch situation on the ball screen, committing the foul against Gilpin.
Second foul on London. T.Y. back into the game as he replaces Labson Abwa. Check that. Abwa is back out onto the floor.
London's out.
Abwa is heading for the bench. I'm sure Hamden would like nothing more than to take a 5-on-4. But under 10 to play here in the first quarter. McCue pulls up. Off target. Taken down and thrown up ahead, but nothing doing. It's 14-12 at the end of the first quarter of play. We're back with the second quarter when we return here on the station.